ProSmoke barbecue in the UK here. Just wanted to do a video that's been requested about buying offset smokers. Sort of a quick buyer's guide depending on what kind of thing you're looking for, what level you're at, that sort of thing. Obviously, like we say all the time, offset smokers is the gold standard of barbecue. You're not going to get any better flavour than cooking with a wood fire. We've got various different versions here, which all pretty much do the same thing, i.e. smoking, but there is slight differences. So if you're coming into the game and you want an offset smoker, you haven't got like a mad budget to spend, but you want something decent that isn't the lightweight, thin offsets that you get in the garden centres, that's where we've got our Blackfire Offset. This Blackfire is made in the same factory as Cactus Jack. It's thinner gauge steel on the body. Well, it's thinner gauge steel all over, but what they have done is they've put some thicker end caps on it. So you've got thick metal there, thinner metal on the body. It's still a lot thicker and a lot more heavy duty than you're going to get than an offset you see in a garden centre. But that is your entry level smoker with us. We don't want to go any lower on the gauge of metal than that, simply because it just isn't going to work very well. We want to get you something where you're coming into offset smoking, you want an entry level unit, but you want an entry level unit that's not going to be a nightmare to run. That is where we are. I mean, like I say, these are made in the same factory as Cactus Jack. This is still considered a heavy duty offset and a lot heavier than the ones you're going to see in other barbecue shops that are sub 1,000. I mean, even some of the cheaper ones now with the little chimneys on them, they're running people at about 1,200 quid. So this one on its own with no starter pack, so i.e. the wood and that kind of thing, is 1,400 quid. So that's really not too bad considering you're getting a smoker that will last you years and years. I mean, it will last you forever if you don't even need to keep these undercover. I mean, they're going to get rusty eventually, but you can repaint them every year and they're all good. So yeah, that's essentially our entry point. Smaller firebox than the others, so you've got to be a little bit more on it with your fire management, but I'll have another video on really easy fire management for beginners. We've got a super easy method for fire management that no one else really talks about or does, which is a bit strange. So I'll do a video on that as well, because you can really get these loaded up and you're not having to baby these. That's the other thing. People are like, oh, I don't have to baby a cooker all the time. We can get you to the point where if you want to run an all wood fire, you are going to have to go back to it, but we can get you 45 minutes to an hour without having to go back to it. We can also get you like hours if you want to run a fire basket with some briquettes and use smaller splits on top for the smoke. But again, that's another video, and I don't want that to be something where people are put off by offsets. There's a lot of cheap rubbish out there, and that is just turning people off of this style of cooking, and we're obviously trying to get people back on it. So as an entry point, that's where you want to be. Obviously you can see with ours, really big chimney on them. It generally, as a rule, if you go into like these garden centres and you see these little stubby chimneys on these offsets, they're not going to work. The chimney is what creates the draw through the barbecue and draws that heat from the firebox at this end. They just put little chimneys on them just because it's cheaper on material, it's easier to ship. This draws really well, breathes really well, this cooker, runs excellent. We run it up all the time. So that's your entry level point. Now, if you've got a bit more money to spend and you want to go up to the official Cactus Jacks, you're going to get bigger fireboxes. You're going to get 7mm steel all round, absolutely everywhere. You're going to get the rubber around the wheels, rubber on the front on the feet. You're still going to get, they all come with the wooden handles. These have got dual analog thermometers on them now. You get also, you get this ceramic stone on all of our 16-inch cookers. The idea of that is when you're running a 16-inch cooker, it's a little bit tight on space. So what you want to do is you want to kind of, without that, you've got to run quite quite a tuned fire, as it were, and it's maybe a bit more advanced than basic, but with the ceramic heat stone in it, that's going to baffle a lot of that searing heat that's coming out and send it up and over the food. So again, that's something to help people have a lot of success with these smokers. The reason we got this piece in there is that that's a cap that normally sits on this end. All of the Cactus jacks can be ran as reverse flow. You can buy a reverse flow kit, which is where we drop some plates in the cooker, and reverse flow is the heat goes under the plate, up, across, and out the chimney that side, rather than being traditional flow with a left-hand side chimney. Reverse flow versus standard flow is a whole nother video, which again I will do, but that's what you're getting on the Cactus jacks. You're getting, obviously, like I say, other options for the future. They've got a rotisserie coming for this model as well. So you are getting quite a bit more. You're getting a lot more steel. You're getting a much bigger gauge chimney on these as well. So you're going to get faster airflow. I mean, that bigger chimney is just to support this big firebox, but having a big firebox will also allow you to move the fuel back and forward, which again helps with fire management. You've got a bigger area in here if you want to grill over the firebox. You can still grill over the firebox on the Blackfire, but these ones are going to be a bit bigger on the Cactus jack models. That's the standard 16, and you'll get a full pack of brisket in there, no problems. You get 2 pork shoulders. It's a good capacity cooker, that one. People are often looking to just go massive on offsets, and although big offsets are easier to run, they are going to use more fuel. They're going to take up more room in your garden. And are you normally cooking more than a full pack of brisket? A full pack of brisket is, well, it can be anywhere between like 6 and 10 kilos, can't it? So that's a hell of a lot of food you can cook on that one cooker. And being that you've got access to the firebox as well on these, is you can grill this side, then smoke, or reverse sear, so you're smoking everything, searing on the firebox. With an offset, you've got loads and loads of different options, and that's kind of what we want to do. So that's the 16, so that's the next one up to the Blackfire, and then from there it's just a matter of size. So the 16-inch Longhorn is going to give you around about another 10-inch on the cook chamber. So the 16-inch Longhorn, you're looking like, just ignore these are additional second racks, these are. But if we just concentrate on the surface, in this one, you've got room for a full pack of brisket and then maybe a pork shoulder. So you've got quite a bit more capacity. Again, you've got the ceramic stone in it. You've got the oversized firebox, which is even bigger. And you can obviously buy extras like this, which is a lava stone. Again, I'll do another video on the accessories for these. But from here, you've obviously got the 16. Then we go up to the 20. And the 20-inch Longhorn is probably our most popular unit. It's really big. It's hard to sort of get across the size of this thing. But with a 20-inch barrel, you're gaining that extra width front to back, whereas the 16s are a bit tight for something like ribs. On here, you can do ribs from front to back rather than having to do them from left to right. You also get a slightly thicker gauge stainless cooking grate and a huge firebox. So, I mean, you're talking on this firebox, it's probably roughly the same sort of room as like a 57 centimeter kettle. All of the Cactus jacks can have this pot hanger for working over the fire, and all of the Cactus jacks and even the Blackfire, you can run them with the fire door completely open like that. So you're using the fire here, and because we've got the big chimneys on them, it's still going to draw enough heat to be at smoking temperatures in your main chamber. So that's quite a nice little feature of the Cactus jacks, or of our smokers generally, is that you can use that fire and still have food smoking away in here. This unit's really big. I think you'll get, I mean, if you found some thinner briskets, you could get them, you could get 2 this end and to this end. They wouldn't be full, like massive size briskets. You'd probably fit 4 or 5 kilos on there. Again, you've got a second on the 20 as standard. You've got a secondary rack. So there's that bracket in there, which gives you this this shelf here right over the fire, or right over the heat flow. So you've got a really nice hot area there if you wanted to do wings. The 20s don't need to come with a ceramic stone because you've just got so much more volume in the cooker to divert that air around. The 20s can have tuning plates. We've got tuning plates which will even the temperature left to right if you do want to use the full surface to cook like the same type of meat. We've got tuning plates for the 16s, but I think the ceramic heat stone works a lot better because you're diverting the heat up and over rather than trying to force it underneath. Because on a 16-inch barrel, that's quite a tight little space to try and funnel the heat through. And then we go on to the chuck wagons. The chuck wagons really are still classed as backyard. I mean, this 16-inch chuck wagon is. The 16-inch chuck wagon here is essentially the 16-inch Longhorn with an upright tower on it. These upright towers run about 100 degrees cooler, so they're designed for hot holding. You can cook in them, but they're going to run lower than this main chamber. So the idea is if you've got something like this, then you're generally entertaining quite a lot of people. So you can cook, so you can smoke all your food in here, hot hold in the end there. You can grill and hot hold. And with tuning plates, we can actually funnel quite a lot of the heat through the bottom of this and up through that tower and get it quite a bit hotter. People like to hang fish in there for cold smoking. You can see it's got, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. So huge amounts of space on this 16. Again, the 16 runs the ceramic stone. And this firebox is just huge on these chuck wagons. I'll just put my phone down so you can see. These are 16-inch logs in here. So you've got a really big grilling surface on this 16. It's about half the size of the cooking chamber. So again, you can get loads of grilling done, hot hold your food in the tower, and then serve from the tower is generally the way we sort of like to use these. And then our biggest backyard smoker, which is bordering on catering, is the 20-inch. This thing is a monster. It really is. It's the 20-inch chuck wagon. The video cut out the other day when I was doing the initial video, so I've picked it back up, and it's raining quite a lot, so excuse the background noise. The 20-inch chuck wagon is the biggest backyard model we do. It's often used for catering and cooking for reasonably large events. The concept's exactly the same as the 16. You got the upright tower for warming, with the main chamber for cooking, but this main chamber has the baffle system in it. So that obviously distributes the heat. You can get it really hot in the main chamber, cool in the end, or you can send the heat all the way along and up the tower. So concept the same, just everything bigger, and we do have some people that use this in the garden. The final unit I want to cover is the Texas Edition Cactus Jack. Now, this is a smoker that came about with us getting a lot of requests for an American style smoker with the chimney mounted at grate level with a collector and a bigger upright pipe on it. This also runs dual shells, and it's about 94 gallons. So it's equivalent to like the Franklin or some of the workhorse pits. And it's a unit that we've had Cactus Jack build with a fully insulated firebox. So that's ceramic insulation with steel wrapped round either side. and it's extremely efficient, super fast airflow. This, you would buy this if you want an American style cooker and you just want to be ramming briskets through it, doing the American style or Texas style cooking, loads of bark, loads of color, loads of smoke, and that comes in at $3.5 grand. The American ones are going to be at least 4.5 at the moment. Things are very expensive out the States, but some people just want the name. So if it's absolutely a workhorse pit that you want, we'll import you one. This is obviously for the people that want that style of cooking but don't want to spend that kind of money. Still 7mm steel all round. Some of the American ones coming through are about 10mm. It's on the nice wagon wheels. They're rubberized with the rubberized feet, and a really nice big firebox for managing the fire. And it runs really nice. This, it can run even or it can run uneven depending on how you have the stack configured. And all the cooking we've done on it, it really puts down a lot of color and a lot of bark, and it's because of that high flow that you get across the cooking chamber. You don't get the bonus of being able to cook over the fire like you do with the other units. This just is a straight up smoker that does one thing, can run really, really hot, or it'll run pretty low. We've had it doing pretty much everything, cooked burgers in it, or we've smoked briskets in it. Generally, these you won't run these at like 225 Fahrenheit, you'll be running this at like 275. And it is for that type of cooking. So that gives you a run through of all the range and why you might buy one over the other. You can come and see all of these at our shop here in Banbury in Oxfordshire, and we'll be doing lots of demos on these. And get in touch with us if you think you're going to want a smoker, because often it's easier for us to schedule deliveries and manage the demand, because obviously as we go through the year, gets to the summer, everyone wants an offset. And we can only get 30 at a time on the truck. So keep in touch. Let us know if you want any other videos. We'll do the fire management videos on the various cookers. And yeah, Cactus Jack have really knocked it out of the park with this range now. I think we've got it pretty much nailed on. We've got everything we want from them. And there's a smoker for every budget. But obviously we won't compromise on quality to get a super low price point. We do have not rebuilds, we have like ex-demo cookers coming through now and again. So keep in contact if that's something you're looking for. And we got a separate list of for people that we work through as and when we get those in. We do trade-ins, trade-ups, trading downs for existing customers, everything. So keep in touch and drop us a comment if there's anything else that you would like to see.